So everybody is trying to figure out when to do stuff. That's the gist of my messages this morning. If you wanted to know, everybody's got stuff rescheduled from last weekend. Understandably, all the outdoor activities. I mean, we're talking from kids' games on up to all kinds of community stuff. Everybody's trying to dodge the raindrops. So that's my outlook today. I'm going to try to help you figure out. Here's the big picture. Today looks pretty good. Rain moves in tonight. It's going to linger all the way through tomorrow into the afternoon and evening. I wonder about a few pop-up thunderstorms. Nothing severe tomorrow afternoon and evening. So yeah, I'm not sure about tomorrow afternoon, but it should clear out by the evening. Friday and Saturday look pretty good. I think they are mostly dry. And Saturday night, late. Showers work in. I'm talking more about the Kansas side for that, though. Spoiler alert, next week it's an unsettled weather pattern. I think we get to talk about severe weather. I see two possibilities. Probably not going to bring them up this morning, long way out, just to know that overall the weather pattern looks pretty unsettled headed into next week as well. So it is that time of year. Try to do my best by telling you what is coming when for East Central Kansas, West Central Missouri, and Kansas and Missouri while we're at it. So here's radar outside this morning. Nice and clean for once. Nothing is wrong with the radar. Nothing going on today. Not expecting anything to drift across today, but we do have severe weather outlook for Kansas. Let's talk about this. Today is Wednesday, May 28th. I see a 2 out of 5 there in the yellow. This is picking up Great Bend. Pratt, Hutchinson points to the west. East Central Kansas, we're just in general thunderstorms. Picks up a little bit around Emporia, Chanute, Coffeyville on the Kansas side into that marginal risk for thunderstorms. Here's why. This is what plays out. I want to go ahead and take you through the forecast again today. Looking dry. Here's what pops up about 10 a.m. We should be able to look way out in central and west central Kansas. I'm looking at haze right now. Storms start to drift across. This is kind of the first wave. I don't think there's anything major to talk about here. But here we are up to about 7 p.m. tonight. I see some more activity. Let's go ahead and look at these areas because I do think, we see the stuff for this time of year. We do have a possible linear structure. This looks to me like around 11 p.m. tonight out here between, say, Greensburg, Coldwater, and Pratt, Sawyer, Medicine Lodge. If these areas are people you know and people you want to make a phone call to, such like that. These linear threats, we've been through it many times this year, but if you haven't joined me for severe weather coverage, these will be strong winds, strong damaging winds, possibly some hail in these as well. We don't look as much at tornado risks when things are linear like this, but if any of these little clusters break off down to the south, then we are looking for that, for strong supercells. So as this pushes off, this is the area that this should go tonight, should go off to the south and the east, should be looking for that Oklahoma state line as we now approach about 1 a.m. is the time frame I'm looking at here. Back over to East Central Kansas, West Central Missouri. Let me back this up a little bit and show you what time the rain starts. Here's where I see things start working across the I-35 corridor over here around El Dorado, Emporia. This looks like 7 p.m. this evening. These are just light showers. Heavier at times, though. Going to take its sweet time once again, drifting towards the state line. I'm looking at midnight right now. Here is midnight for East Central Kansas, West Central Missouri. I think we have rain over here on the Kansas side, finding its way over here to Butler, Rich Hill, Foster. These should just be light showers. That's how it kind of goes, I think. Let's play the rest of the forecast. Yeah, it's going to pick up a little bit towards the 2-3 a.m. hour. I'm up to 3-4 now. So here's wake up time. Here's 7 a.m. So let's get that back. 5 a.m. 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Looking pretty rainy across west central Missouri for sure. So this kind of takes its time moving on out of here. Here's one thing to watch. Things are going to clear up in the afternoon. I think we have some scattered showers. I'm up to about 2-3 p.m. But this is what we're going to pay attention to tomorrow. Look at these small little thunderstorms. Again, instability is little to none. So these would just be thunderstorms. Can't rule out some gusty winds, but possibly some clustering thunderstorms moving in I-70, working their way south. This would be in the late afternoon, pushing toward the early evening that they may drift through. So that's what we're going to be talking about in tomorrow's forecast for sure. What is all this going to do? You saw the heavier rain amounts working storm-wise across Kansas. I think we get almost 2 inches out here in central Kansas, 1.90. There it is. That's new data this morning. Up to possibly 2.5, just a little bit less for you all out in central Kansas. Coming back over to the Missouri side, we pick up a little bit less. Over on the Kansas side of east central Kansas, maybe an inch, more like half an inch over around Pleasanton. Get over here onto the Missouri side, half an inch for Harrisonville, a little bit less than that up in Kansas City, and half inch up to 3/4 of an inch as we work our way over towards Clinton and east. Saturday night is our next chance. I say we get to skip Friday and Saturday. Can't rule out a few scattered showers, but I don't really see much for Friday and Saturday. So let's take a look at this. I am talking predominantly the Kansas side, and here's what I see. We have some time to go in the data, but I think things pick up around 10 p.m. Saturday out in western Kansas. And as they drift through, I do see some thunderstorms that come across Kansas. We'll keep an eye on that. Here we go up until the 7 a.m. Sunday morning hour. Still not seeing too much for east central Kansas until early afternoon on Sunday. Here's about 1 p.m. Here's 4 p.m. So light showers, I think, find us again on Sunday for sure. If not a few embedded thunderstorms in there, we'll be paying attention to that. So that takes us up to the weekend. That's a lot, trying to find spots to do outside. Hope I've helped you with that. Next week, next week. I'm going to keep my eye on this for next week. We're not done with severe weather season. I know we all know that, but here's what I see setting up. It's too early to talk specifics yet, but look at these strong low pressures, right? We start off with one, pop. There goes another one. I'm looking out here. Pacific Northwest is where I'm looking for these low pressures. But what I see them doing, let me find just one. Here's one. I see several shortwave systems that are going to pop out from this low pressure over the Rockies and across out into the central plains, right? So that's a severe weather setup, possibly. So we need to start to look at that as that time grows closer. But, just to keep in mind, don't be putting away things to do with severe weather coverage. Know about your safe places. You got some time. We'll probably be talking about that somewhere in our region again next week. Temperatures today. In the meantime, clouds are going to break for a little bit. You're going to get a little bit of sunshine. I think it's late morning over to early mid-afternoon. So that's great. Doesn't last long, though. With all that stuff moving out in Kansas, we're at least going to pick up cloud cover again this evening. But in the meantime, I think we get up to about 71 in Kansas City, 71 everywhere going rate for today. But hey, warming trend is well underway. Look what happens by Saturday. I just pulled these up to give you something to look forward to. Saturday temperatures, I see 83, 84 up in Kansas City. A little bit cooler down here in west central Missouri, 80, 81. Over on the Kansas side, you guys might see 81 or 82 come the weekend. So I'll keep doing that for you here. We'll keep trying to look at when it's raining, when it's not, when you can get some stuff in. That is what I know this morning. Everybody have an awesome Wednesday. I'll be catching you later.